Howdy, my name is Oatmealent, and welcome back to Let's Play EU4 Japan, where we are trying our hardest to be a colonial power. We've done what I would call the extortion wars with the Aztecs, Cree, and Inca to take all of their money. We're now going to be using that money to build up buildings that are strengthening our core provinces. We're gonna call this all our core provinces, and anything colonial, even if we do technically core it, are going to be colonies. So we're going to strengthen up our core provinces so that they become more profitable, also just stronger troops, because eventually once we take over most of the North America and probably the Caribbean, we're going to use this strength to come back over against Asia, because we're going to get that casus belli from the idea group that we're picking up expansion ideas to just be able to attack all of the Asian nations at our discretion, similar to what we've been doing to the natives of North and South America. So I think I'll probably get on that, get into my production interface. You see that the armories increase the manpower, which we're going to need, but not so much, because, I mean, really, we're not going to need manpower. We're going to have all the manpower we need from the New World. Once we start getting buildings that do other things, like increasing the strength of troops, I think eventually we get something like this. I guess recruitment time could be important. I just don't know if it's worth the military power to build those buildings quite yet. As far as economically profitable buildings, I'm definitely going to be building those, and everywhere that's greater than 1. I don't know why I've decided on 1, but I have. The price is not, in my opinion, the money. It's the diplomatic power, or the administrative power. This also costs, yeah, they all cost. They all cost some form of power in addition to money. Means that the money is probably best spent in just running a deficit for a long time. To fund our advisors still, but not just that, also. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to run these guys. No leader. Here's the leader. I'm going to run these guys over here, and once he gets there, I'll dismiss him as a leader and put him back, sort of instantly teleport him over there. And the reason I'm not using these ships, I will move them back over here. The reason I wasn't using these ships to move them is that obviously there's no Panama Canal, so it's much faster to actually walk than to use ships. Speaking of which, though, I have the Explorer, who's been my key explorer for this entire game so far, because he has 3 maneuver. Can't really say his name. Inari? I'll go with Inari. He's been a really key player in my ability to get over to the New World, because he was making one-way trips. So I strongly suspect that 8 will beat 12, but I'm gonna just ignore them for now and focus on Inari. Yeah, I don't want to go out into the open ocean. I know that it might be frustrating me just clicking through some of those events if you're not familiar with the game, but for me, I just can't read. I just can't pay attention to the events that are... cloth. Well, we talked about cloth, I believe, in the 3rd video, or maybe it was the 4th video. The first time we got cloth, I feel like cloth is probably, yeah, like they say, good news. It's not excellent news, but it's not horrible news either. See, the demand is high for cloth, and the supply is lower than that high demand. So it's not bad. It's no spices, but it's still fine news. I'm really hoping for spices or China. I don't think I can get China anymore, but anything profitable that has a low global supply, so that I can potentially get to be a 20% trader in it and get that empire-wide bonus. The empire-wide bonus being a bigger deal than the actual gold at this point. I'm going to take him to this province. Yeah, see, I did beat those rebels. Take him to this province and then bring him back so that he doesn't die. Like I said, I'm more worried about the explorer than I am about the ship. Ship is just gold. So my truce with the Kree expires at the end of this month, and I will be using my free diplomat to go and attack them. These are still being cored, so I can't convert them. Is it worth it to spend the 10 diplomatic power to convert these guys to Japanese? Yeah, I think so. It's kind of funny because the current Peruvian-Japanese relationship is such that there's a very large influx of Japanese immigrants to Peru in 1920, I believe. Must have been some problem in Japan. I don't really know, but the reason I know this is that you go to a Peruvian restaurant today and they have a bunch of Japanese cuisine, and they'll always tell you, well, the reason is there's a very large Japanese community in Peru. In fact, I think the current president of Peru is of Japanese descent. I'd minimize, in a month or so, or 2 weeks, I moved to my new house that I've purchased with my wife. I'm very excited. It's our first place. And once I get there, I'll have a better gaming setup where I can have 2 computers simultaneously running with 2 monitors. But at the current juncture, I don't have a second monitor, and this computer is currently rendering, uploading, and recording and playing this game. So it's a good computer, but I don't have a second monitor so that I could just look up interesting little factoids like that and confirm that they're true. Although I do believe that the current leader, I think it's a president, and it's a woman, of Peru, is of Japanese descent. Oh! So, remember in the previous video, I was wondering if I would be able to core this province, or if it would be too far away from this province, and I'd have to suffer the overextension. And it looks like I'm gonna have to suffer the overextension for a long time. You know what I'm gonna do? I don't want to suffer this overextension for a long time. I'm going to core this one. I don't want to suffer the overextension of this province while I'm about to take over all of these Kree provinces, suffering overextension. How long in the coring process here? So yeah, we're fine. We're fine. I don't want to suffer the massive overextension of this province, so I'm going to sell it back. When at the end of the last Aztec War, I was wondering, well, what do? I don't want to leave them with all this money. I'm gonna sell it back. Yeah, sell it back. That means I need 180 some odd days, but there was still some time on my truce, and there are these rebels, so yeah. I would prefer to not gain these 3 provinces from the Kree, until these provinces are done coring, because I won't be able to start coring these until these, at least this province is done coring. But I also don't want to have these troops doing basically nothing. So, how to balance it? What's my overextension like after I sold that province back? It's not so bad, and I'm gonna core. No, I'm not gonna core some of these for a few years. It's like 3 years till I core these. What's the base tax in these provinces? Base tax is only 2. That'll tell me. Base tax is 4 there. Well, you know what I might do? I might, when I release the Cherokee, I might give them these 2 provinces. And so I will eventually annex them through diplo-annexation. I might give them these 2 provinces, and then, because I actually want Muskogee. I know it looks like Muskogee, but I've heard Muskogee said before. I'm just gonna go Muskogee. I want this province because it'll give me access to the eastern seaboard, and like I said, there's only 3 truly profitable places to colonize in the New World. One being the eastern seaboard, the other being the western seaboard, and the other being the Caribbean. And so these 2 provinces will give me easy access to the Caribbean. This one would give me access to the eastern seaboard. So I'll probably just give these 2 away to the Cherokee. Can't believe I forget that. They're the more famous of the 3. So. When this guy's back, in 100 some odd days, I will send him. So this guy's been improving relations for like 4 years with these purples. How are you doing? Yeah, still a long way to go. They have the Imperial Causes Belli against me. All of the daimyos have the ability to attack the shogun as long as I stay a shogunate. And I'm going to stay a shogunate for a long time because I'm going to pick up a bunch of vassals over in the New World. And I want those 4 diplomatic relations more than I want the added national decisions. And I'm also not going to unite Japan. I'm going to unite Japan once I get rid of all my daimyos. So they have the Imperial Conquest or Imperial, I don't know, something where they can attack me and take over the imperial throne, or the shogunate throne, or not really sure proper terms there. What was that? Did everyone see that? There was. Oh, that's. I thought that was a track of a path of a boat, but in reality, it was just this. I don't know exactly what this brown line is, but it was just this brown line. Okay, I'm gonna crank up the speed. So, before you saw me losing mercantilism, being perfectly fine with losing the mercantilism that I would have gained in exchange for the 25 diplo points. Now, I make quite a bit more off of trade. I guess this is only a year, though. It's only a year. How are my colonies doing? They're doing okay. I can invest in this Diplotech again, like I could before. Still not going to. Still going to save up my diplomatic power for that next idea group. It's storming pretty hard outside. I can hear that. I certainly hope that there isn't like a power outage. This might be the last video I record this hour or so, because I don't want... What's this? That's Spain. Other people see this? I'm pointing at my phone. That's Spain. If I can get over there, I can westernize. That also makes it such that it's of, like, exceeding importance that I get this. What would it cost me to declare war? Oh, my lights just did flicker. What would it cost me to declare war on the Aztecs? How much stability would I need to break that truce? Spain is over here. How quickly can I get a core next to them? All this is coming together so well. I just barely beat the Europeans over here by perhaps 10 years. All because I took advantage of what I believe to be an exploit of fleet basing with the Aztecs. Okay, you're healed up. It is now a priority of mine to slow down the game and pay close attention to Inari as he goes and makes first contact with the Spanish. They'll probably get a bonus for being the first to contact Japan. I know that was a big deal when Japan was contacted by the Western world in history. I wonder if I'll get a bonus. You were the ones that made first contact with the Europeans. I'm not going to go over there. Those guys have been rebellious for a long time. Why are the... I see, these are this slightly rebellious province is the Incan province that I took. Okay. Come on, Cree. Give me all your land. I don't want to have a lot of leaders because as a shogunate, I don't have access to the decisions that would give me more leaders. I also don't have the text that would give me more leaders or the ideas that would give me access to more leaders. So every leader above the first that I have is actually costing me a military point. So much so, I was keeping the 3 military leaders being the... No, I'm going to keep the conquistador over there. He still needs to explore all of this land once I need it. It would cost 40 to hire him back. So if I think I'm going to be exploring this land in the next 40 months, I should keep him around. Well, I'm just going to keep him around. That might be lazy, but I'm going to keep him around. So my 2 priorities to pay attention to, and I need to remember to pay attention to both, are my war with the Cree and my explorer down south. His boat is right here. I wonder if I can send him... I can. I can just send him there and pray he makes it. How do we feel about that? I no longer have fleet basing rights with the Aztecs. I should have probably done this when I had fleet basing rights with the Aztecs. I'm gonna go ahead and do that and not have to pay attention to him. So something interesting about releasing vassals when they are animist or, in this case, shamanist. Gain 300 population in Denmark, lose 25 diplomatic power. So this is actually an interesting decision. They're not really fleeing to the New World. They're fleeing to here. How many people are in Denmark currently? So if I gave them 350, 300. They'd be very close to done and probably finish within the year with this settler chance. I'm gonna go ahead and do it. I wish it would cost me gold. 25 days. That siege lasted. Okay. Trading in tobacco. I lost the effect. I don't know. I probably had it, like I said, because I'm in the same trade zone as the Kree, and the Kree are probably the only producers of tobacco at this juncture. But spice is awesome. We went over spices in the past video, but it is what I would consider the best possible trade good for me. Gold would have produced more money, but I don't want any more gold than I'm going to be gaining from the Aztecs, seeing as even just the Aztec gold is going to give me an inflation problem. Right now I'm having it reduced by our advisor, and gold is not increasing it, but the Aztecs have a tremendous amount of gold mines. They've got 5, I believe. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I must have taken their 5th. Yep, 5. It's not letting me do the detachment. There we go. Interesting. I knew it was possible. I had just not had it happen to me before. Where I had a revolt in a province that I had taken control of. So is our boat gonna make it? Well, he discovered Spain. Hi, Spain. I don't know if you guys can hear that thunder. It's kind of scary. Spain and France are over here, but not Portugal, who would have been my bet for being over here. He's gonna make it. You guys want to take bets? I don't know. What it means is that it is of exceptional priority for me to, if they core it. I don't know if they're gonna core it. They should. They haven't yet. But it's exceptional priority for me to get a core next to them, so I might have to focus more in this area of Brazil, even though aside from like Rio Grande and a few others right here, they don't even come half of the tax income of the Caribbean. The Kree are losing to what would have been, I guess, their native rivals. This is funny because remember when the French actually took over what wasn't the Kree, but I think it was in the war with the 5 nations, the Iroquois nations up here, they would take sort of unincorporated unincorporated enemies and have them fight them. And it's just not something you have access to in this game, but I guess just sort of from flavor perspective, we do have a small amount of access to their natural nearby enemies, fighting them. Oh, actually, and losing, but still doing a good deal of damage. Why is it not letting me move? Unfortunately, I do have to siege through every province, because otherwise you can't do total annexation. I must have lost that war. some reason I'm retreating at full morale. I don't know why I'm retreating at full morale. Achieve religious unity. These are new missions. The enemy of our enemy. Get Orat Horde's opinion of me. So it's still worried about balancing against the Ming. Not gonna happen. Achieve religious unity. What would this give me? Quite a bit. I do believe I only have a few provinces. I'm gonna take this mission. It's been forever since I've had a mission. I'm gonna go ahead and take the Achieve Religious Unity mission. Because I will get it quite easily. As soon as I core these provinces, I can convert them. I mean, I'll have a few more, but... yeah. Looks like Boat Guy made it. And did reveal a couple of Caribbean provinces. The way revealing provinces from a boat works is you don't necessarily reveal them. You have a chance of revealing them. That makes sense. You might not necessarily see the island as you floated past it. But also works that way for shoreline, which makes less sense, but... Okay, so here's the trick for all of you who had previously done the full annexation and had it blow up in your face. I shall show you the trick. Unfortunately, I do believe it'll give me aggressive expansion with Spain because I discovered Spain. Nope, apparently nope. They hadn't discovered the Cree. So what you do is create vassals, the Cherokee, and create vassals, the Shawnee. And then I said I was going to give the Cherokee this province and this province. So, unfortunately, that requires a diplomat. How long would it take? 95 months to core. What's my current overextension? 92. Yeah. And they're the same religion as me. They're going to spend all their time converting these shamanists to... actually, to make sure that they don't die to like religious revolts and end up swapping out religions, I'm gonna leave some troops. I'm gonna leave some troops here. How come it's not letting me combine these armies? Ah, I see. I don't have military access to these people. That is unfortunate. That's gonna take a lot of diplomats' time. Traveling back and forth and back and forth. Do you like me yet, purples? No, you don't. Not enough, anyway. Why do I have such... because of my overextension, I have revolt risks in all of my provinces. That is not acceptable. That was unfortunate, but I cannot have revolts occurring in the homeland. I just don't have any troops over here. And I don't have anywhere my missionary can go, right? Because I'm coring. Oh no. I could send the missionary to Muskogee, but I believe it's better for me to just start coring Muskogee, because I'm going to keep it to get access to the eastern seaboard. I could have given it to these guys, but I think because it's not one of their cores, that they're not going to be able to give me fleet basing rights to this province, and I don't even know if they have the fleet basing right technology because they were never ocean faring people. So I'm gonna go ahead and just keep this one myself and give these two away first thing. Now this bark, I'm gonna no leader this. Oh no, I'm gonna keep a leader. I'll keep a leader. But he's gonna protect trade in Chesapeake Bay. This will not only reveal most of the Caribbean when he does this round, it will also keep pirates from spawning in this area, including in the Caribbean, largely. All that said, as much as I'd love to continue playing, I'm a little bit worried by the thunder outside, and that is a good stopping point. You got to see what I consider to be another, maybe not exploit. This one is probably just the way to go about conquering the natives, is release their conquered tribes from them as vassals, eventually diplo-annexing them. I'll do that for the Aztecs as well. Aztec War is going to be in 3 years. Hopefully by that point these provinces are cored. I do believe they will be. Not this one, but these provinces will be, so those troops will be free to come up and conquer the Aztecs, and ideally the Spanish would not get that idea before I was able to execute it. And that's the end of this part.